Hey, remember me? It's Greg from Baseball and Whatever. How are you doing? Hey, that's great. We should do that sometime. Before we get this episode started, let me tell you about Belly Up Sports. Why, it's only the finest source to get your news on the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, fantasy sports, and more. Whether it's through forums or articles, or their extraordinary podcast network, Belly Up Sports has you covered. They are the Internet's sports bar. Visit bellyupsports.com and follow them on all social media platforms. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you soon.
Welcome to Baseball and Whatever with your hosts, Justin McAwee.
Because I was on campus and I had to appear like I was one of the cool kids, I would put the Star Wars book inside one of my textbooks so it looked like I was just studying for class.
All right, look. There's only one return, okay? And it ain't of the king, it's of the Jedi.
Greg Probst.
If you look at most Bond fans movie rankings, they have Casino Royale and Majesties in their top two. For me, these actually rank in the bottom part of my list. I mean, I love them, but they don't compare to Diamonds Are Forever.
Stop getting Bond wrong!
And Vincent Francis Jankowitz IV.
I'm a glorified fact checker.
Last I checked, the most runs in a game wins.
Actually, I am a fact checker.
Hey everybody, this is Justin, there's Vinny, there's Greg, episode 44, Baseball and Whatever. This week on the show, we have baseball and our top 5 Beatles songs. So we, all three of us, spent the week agonizing over our top 5 Beatles songs. If you are interested in that, I will put in the timestamps. If you want to jump to that, feel free. But I'm hoping you're here for the sports talk as well. If this is your first time listening to the show, thank you for finding us. First off, I just got to say, if you're a baseball fan and you just found our show, last week we interviewed Jason Kendall, not some guy named Jason Kendall, but the MLB 15-year career vet, 3-time All-Star Jason Kendall was gracious enough to come on and talk to us for an hour. I still
You
can't
mean
believe
the guy, Jason
Kendall.
The Jason Kendall.
I still can't believe, A, he talked to us, B, we interviewed him, and C, I have his phone number in my phone now. Not to brag.
And D, it
You
went
stare at
well.
that every night?
I kind of I'm like, man, I used to watch you play. And then I just put my phone away. No, I'm kidding. I don't stare at it. But it's crazy. But anyway, please go check that out. I think that is maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but these guys can tell me otherwise. But I think that's been the highlight of our podcasting. Don't get me wrong. I love podcasting with you guys every week. But
it's the highlight.
Interviewing a former All-Star is probably the highlight. So check that out. If you also have never listened to us, we do baseball and sports segments. The first half of the show, second half is our whatever segment where we pick a random topic. We discuss it. Sometimes we make top 5 lists. Like I said, this week we're doing our Beatles top 5. If you do want to get a hold of us, you can do that by going to facebook.com/baseball and whatever. You can tweet us at baseball and what. You can call us and leave a voicemail or text us at 913-808-3278. That number again is 913-808-FART. There we go. You can email us at baseballandwhatever@gmail.com. You can find us on all your podcast apps of choice. You can also find us on YouTube, search Baseball and Whatever. You can see video versions of every single piece of content almost that we put up, at least every single weekly show we do. And Vinny has been gracious enough to take over the Instagram account. So you can also reach us on Instagram at Baseball and Whatever. So there we go. We have got our bases covered, all social media, all the time. But before we get started, we like to recap and see if there's any famous Chicago athletes, since we're based out of Chicago primarily. And this week we're on episode number 44. So famous 44s. The only one I can think of, I have two Blackhawks. Danny Richmond was a Blackhawk from about 15 years ago. He wasn't very good. He only lasted like one season.
But he was.
I was going to say, I didn't write him down. If
the other one
would
be All-Star, and then he was way over the hill when the Hawks got him, but he won a Stanley Cup with them, and that would be defenseman number 44, Kimmo Timonen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I know
that. I remember him on the list, but you're missing Calvin DeHaan.
Oh, current Blackhawk. Yeah, you can see how often I've watched the Hawks this season. That's all I got
Justin,
for 44s.
Bad form.
Greg, what about you?
You want me to go White Sox? So
Yeah,
White
I got
Sox
their-
right now, I got currently, what the hell's his name? Zebby Zavala. He's
right.
44 right now. Sticking with, I know some catchers that wore 40 other catchers. So Toby Hall and Corky Miller, my guys from like
God.
08 and 09. Remember those names?
Yes, I do.
Good job.
Jake Peavy was 44 when he was here, and then after he left, it was Adam Dunn. And then even way before that, probably the worst pitcher of all time, Billy Cock.
Sure, it's
and
Coke
then,
or Coke.
What's that?
Oh, that's right. He
Is
had
it Cock or Coke?
he had the little
Oh, it's
like
Cock.
soul
Okay.
patch that he would like dye different colors, didn't he?
Yeah, he just
Strange dude.
Yeah, he just needed to die out there.
Oh,
That's
oh,
what
God.
he needed to
Wow.
do. So, oh yeah,
Yes.
it was.
Wow, somebody really didn't like him.
Oh, he was terrible. He was god awful. I think Ozzy just despises him to this day. If he sees him, he will tell him off. But who else? He's going to be in MLB The Show. He's a twin. He sucks. Justin Morneau.
Justin-
One year with the White Sox.
Yeah,
was also
I totally
44
forgot that he
right
played
there.
with the White Sox.
Yeah,
I
he did.
didn't think that was allowed.
2016 or 2017, I think it was. So, yeah, that's 44s. I think that's all I have. You got any
Okay.
more, Vinny? Did you look into that?
Yeah, I got it up here. Tyler.
Oh,
Clippard.
Aaron Rowan before
Yeah,
he
I
was
gonna get to
33.
that one. Okay,
Yeah.
Aaron Rowan, you got him.
Brian Anderson. Brian Anderson before he was 32.
Yeah, there you go, Greg. You're a little late. You're a little
Yeah.
late there. Train's
Clicking.
arriving late to the station.
Yep.
I also had, let's see here, Ruben Sierra,
Oh God!
Oh,
that had
wow,
what,
I forgot about Ruben Sierra. I forgot he was on the
97?
Sox.
98.
98.
I remember him with the
Oh,
A's and
Wow.
Yankees.
Yeah.
Chet Lemon.
Oh yeah,
No.
from the
Uh,
he was from the 60s or 70s, wasn't he? I don't know. 80s?
Yes, 76
Okay.
to 81.
Oh, okay.
And then Phil Cavaretta back in 54 to 55. But the
No.
reason I wrote him down, he played 2 years with the Sox, but he was he played 20 years before that with the Chicago Cubs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
20
Last 2
years on the
in the
Cubs.
league. He played with
Ooh.
the White Sox. So,
Look
Yep.
at that.
all right, Cubs now, Greg.
Yeah, I got two. I think the obvious one, Rizzo,
Yep.
And then
oh
Kyle
God,
Fl-
yeah.
and then Kyle Farnsworth, I think was
Yes.
44. So,
Oh, yeah,
those are
the-
the only two I can think of.
Man, I'm slacking. How did I miss those two?
Yeah, you got Michael Wirtz last week at 43.
But not Kyle.
Right.
Kyle Farnsworth, owner of the best video clip where he body slams the Reds pitcher Paul Wilson for charging the mound.
Yep.
If you have not
Yes.
ever seen that before, I highly recommend checking that out on YouTube. So I remember
I also
watching that
had-
game live.
Steve Wilson,
Okay.
No.
and then Phil Cavaretta. I'm sure I'm butchering that last name wrong. And then Bert Hooton. It's 1971 to 1975. Good baseball name.
I like
Bert.
that. That is a good name.
I like it.
But that
Who's-
was about it. And then
Has anyone taken it after? No one took it after Rizzo, I'm sure.
Not yet.
They kinda
Not yet.
Put it on the back burner, yeah.
maybe Schwindel will take it.
Big 44.
Just
Yeah,
to send a
Schwindel's what,
message.
18 right now? The 18 looks good on
think so.
Schwindel. We need a good Cubs need a good 18.
All right,
Yeah.
Greg, you got any Bears?
Oh God. And I think he's come up on your blast from the past before, Vinny, but Curtis Enos,
Oh yeah.
you know, former
Penn
Penn
first, what was he?
State, Nittany Lion,
Former first round pick, holding out, and
former
then
bust.
former bust, yeah. Current bust, I guess you could
Yes,
say. We'll
yeah.
still stick the bust thing on him. 44. No, I think that's the only 44 I have for the Bears.
Okay.
Okay. I got Brock Forsey.
Oh yeah.
Remember little Brock
Name sounds
Forsey?
Is he a fullback?
familiar. Yeah.
No, he was a little running back, little
Okay.
wide
Okay.
running back.
Okay.
Tyler Klutz. You guys remember Tyler Klutz?
No.
He sounds
no.
like a bear, though.
He does. He does sound like a
I
bear.
remember the name just because it was like, oh yeah, Klutz. That's perfect.
Oh my
Nick
God.
Kwiatkowski.
Oh yeah, linebacker.
Oh yeah. I remember him. Yeah.
Alec Ogletree wore it this year.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Terry Schmidt wore it from 1976 to
Schmitty.
1984.
Okay.
Gary Lyle from 1968 to 1974, and then good old Bob Margarita from 1944 to 1945, and he won an NFL championship with the Bears. So yeah, good
Okay.
old
Look at
Bob
that.
Margarita.
Margaritaville. All right.
Now I have
Yeah,
a
right?
taste for frozen margaritas. Anyway, okay.
Do you really?
Oh, frozen margaritas,
Are those
Yeah,
your
I could
thing?
go for one
pina
too.
coladas. There's a place. Oh, Greg, I don't think we
Pina
took
coladas
you.
are a little sweet for
Yes.
my taste.
Next time
I could
you
do the
guys are out
coconut.
here, we're gonna have to walk up to the Mexican restaurant down the street from us.
Ooh.
Best margaritas I've ever had in my life.
If you're not taking it, how many times?
I don't
have
know how
been to
we
your
haven't
house? You've
taken it.
never
I don't know
taken-
how we haven't
taken
gone
me
there.
Jeez.
Yeah, on Tuesday and Thursdays they're half price too.
Oh,
wow.
hello. What are we
So-
doing here? They still
Right?
open?
No,
I'm
they
surprised
unfortunately no.
Justin's like coherent. I'm surprised you don't have one every show night.
You know, it's getting pretty
doing?
close to that point. I'm not gonna lie. It's yeah.
He's getting there, folks.
I'm getting
He's
there.
Getting there.
So all right,
All right,
cool.
you guys got any bulls?
I feel like I should have one, but I can't. think of
The
any.
rookie wears it this year. Williams. Patrick Williams doesn't
Patrick
wear it.
Williams,
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
And then Nikola Mirotic wore it.
Yes.
Oh, God, that's
Yes,
right,
yes, yes. Yep.
And then Adrian Griffin. I don't know if you guys remember him, bench point guard.
Can't say I do.
I think it was
Can't
during
say I
the
do.
Tom Thibodeau era,
Okay.
part of the
Okay.
bench mob.
Bench mob era. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times. Cool. All right. Well, thank you, Vinny. Vinny, I appreciate your dedication to the show with having your notes handwritten.
Yeah.
We
Fact
like
check.
who's the guy that would write all his notes on paper? I can't
Vinny?
remember which yeah, Vinny. I can't remember which radio host it was that he would have a big yellow pad. Steve Rosenblum, maybe? No,
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, all right, we'll move on. All right, before we get started, again, I should say, we also like to do our text line and our YouTube comments. And holy cow, the mailbox of comments is overflowing. So we're going to open this up. But first, we have our text line. Vinny, do you want to take our text line? We have a text from one of our favorite listeners, Pretzel Vince.
Long
Yeah,
one, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Holy moly.
Hey, everybody, an old man's talking.
Good show, guys. The other thing I like about the Irish pub restaurant from our last episode on favorite birthdays is your choice of dessert for your birthday. He had a choice of a free piece of cake or a free shot of Jameson, and he took the shot of Jameson. He also goes on to say, number 43, Jim Dooley was the Bears head coach after George Halas, a.k.a. Papa Bear, finally retired from coaching. Dooley coached 4 years, 1968 to 1971. His record was 20-36.
Okay.
And so it began. And yes, as you stated regarding the Super Bowl halftime show, your age group is now the target of advertisers. Only complaint about the halftime show is that I did not understand any words that they were rapping.
Hey, everybody, an old man's talking.
Snoop Dogg did look good. It's probably from all the weed that he's been smoking. And then he continues to go on and says, carry on, gentlemen. One last thing. Stola is a Polish birthday wish. It actually means 100 years. So when one makes a toast or wishes someone Stola, you are wishing the person 100 years of life. And I cannot pronounce
You can't pronounce
whatever
that
else.
Polish.
Sure can. Justin, you want to take it?
I'm assuming the W is a V sound. So
Yeah.
Tigego Najapego.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
sure. Why not?
I'm gonna have to have Melissa write in if she's listening because I know she knows a little Polish from her mom, so we'll have to ask her the pronunciation.
Say that again, Justin.
Are you getting this for a soundbite?
No.
Viskago Najapego.
Is the actual way to say happy birthday in Polish.
Oh,
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Pretzel Vince, for hitting the text line. We appreciate it. We're going to shift gears to our emails, tweets, and YouTube comments. Holy cow, we got a lot. Greg, take it away.
Can guarantee you, though, that was not Pretzel Vince's only complaint about the halftime show. Glucosamine Chondroitin on YouTube writes in, I like Vinny's soundboard. It's fun.
Thank
Like
you.
it. We love it.
We love it.
Give us another
I'm so
one, Vinny.
excited.
He's got too much power over there.
Getting too excited over here. Whew.
Pretzel Vince replies, I agree. Good job with the soundboard. Good job. Our buddy Glucose Condom continues to write in. It's cool you mentioned Jerry Blevins. He's on a podcast with YouTuber Jolly Olive called Shea Station. Yeah, that's part of the John Boy media.
I remember the name. I don't remember him as a Cub, but yes, I do remember it when we talked to
He
Jason.
never
Kendall.
played for the Cubs. He was like
No, he was a minor prospect, right? Or minor league or something like that. Yeah. So, yeah. Very cool.
I've never listened to that show. I don't listen to a lot of
No, I haven't. I have a Mets
Sorry,
story to talk about when we get to our baseball segment, and it doesn't necessarily paint the Mets fans in a good light. Oddly enough. I figured. Anyway, continue. Sorry, Greg.
Erica on YouTube, I call bullshit on Justin's favorite 90s movies list. Uh-oh, where are we going here? 4 out of 5 on his top 5. I've known him to only watch a couple times. Out of those, You've Got Mail should be his number 1 because I've seen him watch that about 100 times since we've been together.
Jeez. Getting called out by my wife.
What was that on your list?
It was number 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think, though, if I had to do it again, I would put Mighty Ducks on there. I might put the first Ninja Turtles movie on there. I think I would go more childhood if I did it again, where last time I went on just really good movies. But according to my wife,
try to sound more adult than you actually are.
Well, yeah, that too. Yes,
which we don't want you to do.
We don't encourage.
Yeah, we were very juvenile on this podcast, Justin.
I don't know. I don't know how anybody could tell otherwise. But yeah,
just look at our phone number.
Yeah, she listened to that episode the other night when she was putting Maddie to bed, and she's like, your list was complete bullshit. I go, what are you talking about? And she gave me the riot act about my list. I'm like, it's not your list, it's my list. But
wow,
yeah.
Oh man,
that's your sister.
About right though.
That's your sister.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, since she took the time to write that in, so I'm bringing the heat right there.
Mm-hmm.
Joe on Facebook. Do we know Joe? Who's Joe?
I actually went to grade school and high school with Joe. He started reaching out to us about the podcast. He was in the process of trying to set up his own, so we had talked a while back. So yeah, I believe he's listening to ours now too.
Joe, thank you so much for writing in. Joe writes in on Facebook. 90s kids' birthday parties were always the best. Haunted trails, Discovery Zone, in-person home parties, etc. Getting anything Nerf related. Yep. Bulls sportswear. We have all the OG jerseys. Great. Legos, yo-yos, Duncan, and fireballs. You guys remember those?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Were you guys into yo-yoing?
Yeah. I sucked at it, but I had one.
Oh, okay.
You guys have a Bumblebee one?
I had a Bumblebee. I had a fireball. What was the green one?
I think I had a fireball.
Green one?
What was the one that
Duncan,
would
was a Duncan? Wasn't just a Duncan fireball one?
What was the one that would stay down when you put it down? Or was that
butterfly?
Just a trick?
It was a butterfly, wasn't it?
Okay, maybe I had that. I don't know. I couldn't do any tricks.
No, Justin, all of them were supposed to. The only ones that came back were the fireball ones because they had the ball bearings in them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I sucked.
I remember I started off with a fireball and then I moved on to the Bumblebee.
Oh, you graduated.
Yeah, I worked up. I think fireball was the last one. This was what grade were you? 3rd grade, Vinny? 4th grade? What were you? Do you remember?
4th, 5th grade, probably probably 4th grade.
I was thinking 3, 4 for me. So, where was I? Super Nintendo was a life changer, as was the PS1. I like Joe.
Joe's a good guy.
He's speaking our language right here. N64, etc. Absolutely. My first computer was also a life changer to be able to connect with friends on AIM. Oh, another AIM drop. Love it.
Yep.
Instead of slime, we had gag pinatas at parties because, destruction and candy. Look at that. Awesome.
Good list. Yeah, the birthday conversation we had last week was a lot of fun. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
It was pretty cool.
Tim on Twitter writes in, Jason Kendall interview, getting quality people outstanding.
Yes.
I'm just going to say that everyone we've had on here is quality for the most part.
Yes, and they definitely
it's just it's just a tier, it's just a tier. We have
We're still at the bottom.
We get what you say. We get what you're saying, Tim. So, Jake from, do you know that here? Why don't you read this one, Vinny? I think you talked to this guy.
This was me. There's a guy, there's another podcast called, you know what? I will look, but Jake is on Twitter. I know he often comments and responds to a lot of our stuff. It's Jake Bujnowski. He's baseball_Buj. He is a contributor to Dinger Cubs, which is a Cubs fan podcast by Shy City Sports. So, I know they were gonna promote some of our Jason Kendall stuff for us too, but
cool.
The other day he was talking about the interview. He said he was psyched to listen to it. And then afterwards he reached out. He said, what a great freaking interview with Jason. Felt like he meshed with you guys so well. Very interesting hearing him talk about his perspective on catching analytics, and loved the inside scoop on his likeness in video games. That was, Greg, we got a little bit of feedback from that one. It seemed like everybody really liked that question, and the fact that he didn't even really consider it a big deal because he signed something and, being a part of the MLB that they had his likeness and they can kind of do what they want with his name. So
he brought up the Alumni Association, having part of that. No, Jim Thome just got, elected president of the Alumni Association. So yeah, well, I'm still a little curious about that. But he said he got his $50 check. So from SDS, I suppose. So
yeah,
$50. Not even enough to buy the game. Come on.
No, I know. Come on.
Wow.
So
I'm picturing it like Jerry writing it, like having to sign all that. It's $50, but they're in like little penny increments, like his super fun, fantastic happy hour shows.
Oh my God. Craft Brew Sports on Twitter. If there's even a single mention of Jason Kendall's ankle flopping around, an image that still haunts my dreams, we riot.
I do not remember the Jason
injury.
Kendall ankle injury. Do you guys?
No,
I don't. My boss did.
Oh, really?
About it too.
Was this on Pittsburgh or later?
Must have been.
Okay.
Yes, July 5th, 1999. He suffered a broken right ankle as he tried to beat out a bunt yesterday. There's some pictures. Oh God, your ankle is not supposed to look like that.
Oh, there's pictures of it.
Yes, I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Gazette right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he was Steve Woodward was the pitcher that he bunted against.
Steve Woodward.
I do not remember.
I know
Steve
Chris Woodward.
Yes, I remember
Steve
him as
Woodward.
well. But yeah, so there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta have to look that up. I don't remember that injury.
No.
Last thing on the emails, or in this case, YouTube, is our guy Pretzel Vince.
Hey, everybody, an old man's talking.
Wow, was that Greg's long lost brother? Assume he's meeting Jason Kendall. I thought I was listening to Greg when Jason Kendall answered the question regarding pitch framing. Also glad to hear I'm not the only boomer regarding defensive shifts. Good interview. How about that?
I did like his take on shifts about learn to hit the ball the other way, and then Joey Gallo said, I can't hit a double or triple when everyone's in the outfield. Well, dude, you don't hit double or triples. You strike out all the time. So, thank you.
Boo that man.
Yeah, that was a dumb thing to say.
It was. It was. Are we surprised? Not really.
No.
So yeah.
Damn Yankee.
The Yankees win. All right.
Oh God, I hate that shit.
I hate that thing so much.
That the Yankees win.
I hate it. We're gonna get. Oh God! Thank God we don't have a big New York fan base. Otherwise, we'd be getting booed right now. All right. Are we ready to start the show officially with the sports talk now?
Sports talk.
Before we get to the sports talk, though, we have to hit Greg's hot take house. So, Vinny, hit me with the hot take drop.
Greg's hot takes.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on.
Hell yeah.
All right. Want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
All right. So we are going to talk about Greg's hot takes. Greg, what is making you angry this week?
Yeah, I hope this isn't too disappointing, but not much is making me that angry. I just have
That's 2 weeks in a row, Greg.
I know. Someone's got to infuriate me here. But here's something that might infuriate you guys. I brought this. I think I texted this to you guys the other day, and I actually bought one of these. But you guys are not fans of the new spring trainings hats, and I'm kind of like they're fine. I don't mind them, but you guys really dislike the Cubs one. So you guys want to touch on that a little bit?
Vinny, you want to go first, and I'll bring you home after that.
It's garbage. I mean, they put blue on blue, and then they sprinkled in red. It's very hurtful on the eyes.
It is a little. It's a little. It causes you to squint.
Way too much. There's no white like the traditional. They have some white sprinkled in there. It's just all blue. It's like anything that would have been like outlined in white, they colored in blue, and it just looks atrocious. And then the trucker style hat is
the mesh. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah,
I mean, I get that. I
guess they got Seabass going out there to swing the bat around.
If you put it in that context, I think I like it. The Seabass collection, maybe that I would use that as a selling point, maybe as kind of a way to justify the mesh. But yeah, it's weird. It's a Major League Baseball hat, and I don't know.
I don't mind the mesh that much, just because I'm thinking if it's spring training and they're in Arizona, maybe it's hot. Maybe in Florida it's warmer. That doesn't bother me. But Vinny, the thing that bothers me is I love the Cubs logo they used for the spring training hat, which if you're not familiar with it, it's the Cubs logo from, I believe, 94 to 96. It was like a modern take on the old Cubs logo from like the 70s to the 90s. And it's just, it's like an angry Cub face, which I love that logo. But the fact that they did it so wrong and you can't even really tell. If they would have just put the regular logo on this hat, I probably would have bought it. Even mesh and all.
People would have been confused that it was the South Bend Cubs because that's very
true.
Similar.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
The line out there is pretty much the South Bend Cubs.
Hey-oh. we need some like a rim shot or something now. We need to add that to the soundboard.
Roasted.
Nice. Perfect. Oh, there's going to be a lot of roasting tonight.
Well, I took the Cubs hat into Canva and I re-imaged it with the City.
You did a better job
and some red. So, like that's the Cubs hat I would buy. But yeah, I agree with you guys. It's a lot of blue happening. So, but I did buy the White Sox one because that's just what I do when I see.
What is I have not seen. What's the logo on the White Sox one, Greg?
So it's just kind of like the old. I mean, they use this logo for the Field of Dreams. It's from the early 1900s.
Oh, yeah, the SOX,
the OX and the stars.
Okay, that's a good look.
I'm gonna give it a whirl. Plus, I had a gift card, so I'm like, yeah. They'll make it happen,
I thought they could have done without the stars, and the stars made it too much for me.
Made it too
could have just
much.
done the
A lot of teams kind of kept it pretty similar to the hats they had last year. They just, they just kind of kept the regular logos, but everything just has the half mesh. Obviously, like if you look at the Padres or Dodgers or Red Sox, Yankees, all those boobs, they kind of kept it pretty simple. The Cardinals one's another bad one too. Do you guys see that one? Is just like burning red.
It's always bad.
That's like burning the red. Like it is worse than the damn STL bullshit. So
I like that Cardinals logo, but there's no.
Yeah, that's like the 94-ish logo.
Yeah,
sort of
but you
thing,
can't
that bird
tell
standing
it's a
up. You can't
Cardinal.
see it though. Can't see it. Yeah.
Good Lord, we need to get into the MLB graphic design business because I think Greg could do a lot better than these. So. Somebody call this man and offer him a job.
Offer me a job. I have no credentials, but you look at my Canva profile.
Exactly. We're going to build Greg a portfolio. I'm going to work on that.
The last thing I had for you guys is that I don't know if you guys have an opinion on this. Call of Duty reportedly skipping 2023. So to catch you up, 2022, we're supposed to be getting the next Modern Warfare 2, which is really like Modern Warfare 7 at this point. But they're reportedly going to go all in on this one. Activision is reporting going all in and keeping these servers going for, 2 years straight, releasing more and more content. So, yeah, that's kind of where it is. I know Vanguard was a little bit disappointing the sales wise. I know Justin ended up selling his to Greg Stop.
I did.
This is remaining on the Greg Stop shelves as we speak.
I was going to say, has Greg Stop reopened it or no?
Greg Stop has downloaded it, and Greg Stop has left it in the PS5 ever since then. So,
all right, good enough. Yeah,
I don't know. I saw that interesting. That Call of Duty's always been every year release, so we're skipping a year. This is kind of breaking the streak a little bit.
I'll be honest. I just I don't have the time or patience to really play online shooters anymore. Like, there's a few that I still like. Like, I still will play Fortnite. I really like that, and occasionally we'll play. Oh, what's the other battle royale? It's made by the guys that did Titanfall. It's the name's escaping me right now. But anyway, that I'll play occasionally. But yeah, after the Call of Duty Vanguard, I was all excited because it was World War II and it just didn't click. So I think I'm good on Call of Duty for a while.
I need Morgan Freeman to narrate what you just said, Justin. I have no time and patience. That would sound perfect. Something out of Shawshank right there. So
I'm not even going to try. I don't know. I mean, that's fine. It's probably a smart decision. I feel like Assassin's Creed did that a couple of years ago and it benefited them, right? So,
yeah. Vinny, what's the last Call of Duty you played? Do you remember? Black Ops something maybe?
Black Ops 2?
Black Ops 2. Okay.
I'm just trying to think. What was like the last one to come out for? No, I didn't play any like the advanced.
What about Ghosts?
I played Ghosts.
Missing.
Yeah,
Ghost. I played a lot.
Anything
really
Advanced
good.
Warfare. Yeah, Ghost was good. Yeah.
The
last one.
Yeah, then when they got the space age stuff.
Yeah, I played that.
Infinite Warfare. Remember that one? That was
Infinite
Warfare. I think you bought that one for me for like Christmas one year, Vinny. So
okay, probably it was probably on your list.
The story was
probably
really good, but I didn't play the multiplayer, and I think I traded it in afterwards. But yeah.
I like Ghost, and I was upset that they never came out with the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They did leave it as a cliffhanger with like, you were in the pit, and then what was the bad guy's name? Rourke or something like that.
Yeah,
that sounds right. Yeah.
That was actually a pretty good story. So,
right.
2023, no Call of Duty. So, Modern Warfare 2 is not a bust. But.
I'm happy for you, Greg. Your February of 2022, not a lot of anger and vitriol. You were pretty mellow this month.
Yeah,
your hot takes.
Know. Am I mature?
You're all grown up. You had your birthday.
Losing the
and
you're losing your edge.
You're not angry anymore.
Vinny, what's the line from It's Always Sunny with Dennis? He's like, my senses are dulling due to living in the suburbs when they
Greg of
my hard edges are rounding. All right. Well, on that note,
it's true. That happens.
I was say you live closer to the city than I did. So yeah. So all right, we're gonna jump to we got a decent amount of baseball talk. So let's jump to our baseball talk.
Baseball.
Welcome back to Major League Baseball. Sort of.
Taking a look at Chicago's two favorite teams and other happenings around the MLB.
All right.
Love that.
Thank you, Ham. Our Hamilton Porter, right? Yeah. All right. Yep. So the first story, we'll start off with this is one I found the other day on Twitter. I thought this was kind of an interesting story. I'm curious to get your guys' take on it. Vanderbilt University is starting a new electronic pitch calling band program. This was from the SEC Network Plus broadcast. So all 9 players on the diamond will wear an electronic bracelet. Apparently the players weren't allowed to wear them before this season. Vanderbilt's catchers do not give the pitch signs anymore. The pitch sign will pop up on the bracelet. I'm assuming it'll be kind of like a Fitbit or an Apple Watch. It'll tell them what pitch is coming. It'll tell them defensive shifts, stuff like that. And then they will make their moves. So this was done to try and speed up the pace of play, which I don't know if it's going to speed it up that much. But I don't know. I'm curious. What's your guys' takes on that? Vinny, you want to start?
Sure. Let me start.
Come on, man.
That's all I have to say about that. No, speeding up the pace of play, you know what's going to happen. They're going to lose reception. They're going to lose Wi-Fi on it. It's going to go out, and then they're going to have to, go back to calling the signs from behind the plate. How is this going to speed up the game? This is going to slow it down because everybody's going to be looking at their wrists, their watches, and trying to get calls. And then somebody's watch it's going to be either dead or it's going to be out. You see that happen all the time in football with the headsets.
Yep.
It's going to, this is ridiculous. This isn't going to speed up the pace of play. Just leave the catcher to call the signs. I get what you're trying to attempt is you're trying to stop people from stealing signs, but be better than that.
Yes.
Have multiple signs, have different signs when guys are on base, it just, I don't know. That's dumb.
It reminds me of, and I, as a teacher, I've always kind of tried to do this is, it's great to use technology, but it has to have a purpose. And unfortunately, this is just a substitution of calling signs and having the outfielders have the little piece of paper in their back pocket telling them what shifts to do for which players. I don't understand. I think it's technology for technology's sake. And like you said, there's going to be mistakes. Something's going to go right. And then you're going to have guys looking all over like, what do I do? I don't know. Greg, what about you?
Vinny, can you give me some Sheriff J.W. Pepper?
Uh-oh.
What the hell is going on?
You want a boomer? I'll give you a boomer right now. And I'll stick with just like you said, Justin, just because you have technology doesn't mean you should use technology, because this doesn't make a shithole of sense whatsoever. We haven't wristbands. This hasn't even made its way into professional baseball yet. And let me talk about the catchers first of all. So yes, I'm a catcher. I know exactly what's coming. Managers telling me exactly signaling everything for me from the dugout coming to my stupid little wristband. How in the hell D1 collegiate baseball is a essential time for catchers who come out of college are already a step ahead of catchers get out of high school because they're learning the game a little bit more. They've been playing a little bit longer, but how in the hell is a catcher supposed to learn how to call a game if he's being told what to do? So let me tell you what happens. You get Joe Dickhead, who plays for Vanderbilt. He's number 1 prospect catcher. Oh, he can do this. He can do that. Guess what? You draft him. Oh, you'll see this guy in 9 years because he's got to learn how long it's going to take for him to learn how to call game, how to learn pitching staff, sequence, signaling, everything in the minor leagues. And by the time he gets to the big leagues, he sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It's an essential time for catchers to learn their pitching staffs, work with the pitcher, have some instinct, learn what's not working for a pitcher, learn what is working for a pitcher, not what he's calling from the dugout over there. Because I get it. Managers have to win games too in college to keep their jobs whatsoever. But especially for catchers, I mean, that is I don't buy that whatsoever. Yes, you can still call signs. That is perfectly fine, but you can't call every pitch. You can't call every pitch. You got to have some confidence in these catchers, and you got to help them bring them along if they have any shot whatsoever. It just can't be all it just can't be all, concrete. This is the call. That you're essentially taking the athlete out of the game is what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because here, I'm in the outfield. And, I've got to shift 3 steps to left with this guy. Look, it's like, oh, he's going to throw me a curveball, so I'm going to do the swing. It's like there is a thing when you're playing defense called swing recognition. If you're paying attention to the batter, you can get a jump by looking at looking how the guy swings the bat. There is that instinct in you as a baseball player where you can react, you can break. It might give you a little bit of a jump. But then here you are in college. So, Joe Dickhead's got his little wristband in center field. He's like, 3 steps to the right because you can just throw a curveball. So bloop, 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 bloop. He's over there, pitch executes perfectly, even if they get it right, and then he hits it right to him. So then what's going to happen when Joe Dickhead loses his wristband in Double-A, and then, there's a ball hit to him? Well, it wasn't hit to me, so what do I do? He's going to make a diving catch out there, something like that. So if this progresses, I don't know. I don't like it. You're taking the athlete completely out of the game, and then it's just, it might enhance pace of play. The game might actually go faster, but the game's going to suck to watch completely. That it's not even going to matter. So that's what I think about that.
I think you nailed it. I don't know. I don't understand that I get wanting to change the pace of play, but I don't understand how wearing a Fitbit on your wrist telling you what pitch is coming up is going to change it.
And I hate it. I hate it as a pitcher too, because because pitchers can call a lot of pitchers can call their pitches too.
Yeah.
And at least my experience in high school, I know firsthand that everything is called from the dugout. And I hated that stuff. Because if I knew my changeup wasn't working, my changeup never worked. If my changeup wasn't working, my catcher knows my changeup doesn't work. And you know who might not know? The fat ass sitting in the dugout over there doesn't know that, but he's calling it anyway. Because the analytic guys are up there, because it's probably in Vanderbilt too. They're all smart and everything. He's like, oh no, you got to throw a changeup right here. I was like, my changeup doesn't work. He knows my changeup doesn't work. So it's like that scene in Major League 2 when, Jack Parkman's at the plate. Vaughn's going to throw him the fastball, and he knows, he gives him the shake. He goes, he's screwed.
Yep.
Even Tanaka's out there going, he's dicked. So that's the parallel I see right there.
I think you nailed it, Benny, Greg. I think you nailed it. I'll be very curious to see if other schools pick this up. Either a lot of them will adopt it because they think it works, or no one will because it's a complete joke. I don't think there's going to be a middle ground where you have half and half of the different D1 schools doing it. So.
And I've been watching some college because that's on MLB Network pretty much. Yeah. And there's a lot of talented kids out there, but it's just some of like the wristband stuff, and then some of the other things you see. I mean, I know they're trying new things, but me being the boomer, I'm just like, play the game. Play the game. It's baseball. So
give them the heater, Ricky. All right. See, there's another impression I can do. All right. Let's continue our anger and just plain anger, I guess. On Tuesday, MLB PA and the owners met for 5 hours on Tuesday to discuss more lockout deals. The owners came out today and said that a deal must be made by 2/28, which I believe is next Monday. Is it next Monday?
Yeah.
Or games will be canceled without makeup opportunities. And they said there's nothing they can do. They have to be canceled. That's not true. You don't have to cancel the games. You can reschedule them. And B, they're saying they're in these negotiations. They're not moving at all. So I don't understand. They said today that both groups met in separate rooms, and then they had one or two people act as like, I don't know, maitre d's and like literally go across the hall to see what the other side was talking about and then come back and bring it back. Like, get in a room, close the drapes, and don't come out until you have a deal.
The drapes.
Whoa. Why are they closing the drapes?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I meant
What's
to say,
going
like,
on in these games now?
I meant to say, like,
Whoa.
turn the TV. Never mind. All right, so,
Oh, yeah.
To be
saying, like,
fair,
shut the windows. You want no distractions. No
to be fair,
distractions.
that would be much more fun to talk about than the regular stuff. If there was something of that going on,
So, I don't know.
There's
I
news.
and then can we also say, like, I find it funny and maybe sending the wrong message to the rookies that don't make a lot of money, but Max Scherzer. Try this again. Max
Yeah.
Scherzer showed up to negotiations in his Porsche today or yesterday. I'm like, that's great. You can buy a Porsche, but maybe don't show up in it. I don't know if you want to look like you don't make enough money.
He's fighting for the little man out there. So.
Yeah.
9/11.
He's like Andy Bernard.
Yeah.
Starts like taking everything off. Starts, having his car towed away. Don't think I care about the little man.
I don't see. I don't know. It's so frustrating. And if I hear one more owner say they're losing, like you said, Vinny, in the past, biblical losses, the evaluations of the team have gone from hundreds of millions to billions of dollars. Ticket prices and concessions go up every single year, and you're still going to tell me you're not making any money? I find that very hard to believe.
I got a question for you guys, and I'm maybe not as well caught up as you guys are, but didn't the MLBPA say that if there isn't a deal made by Monday the 28th, they would not agree on the expanded playoffs?
I did not hear
anything, because I know the playoffs.
I did not hear anything on that.
The playoffs, if they miss playoff games or something like that, or if they, because I know we all know that the owners really want that, and I'm not even opposed to that. But I thought that would maybe kind of light a fire a little bit, if anything can. Like, I don't know if that's true or not. I think I might have heard that on Twitter from, I don't know if it was passing or something, but
Bob Knight.
I thought that was Bob Knight. Yeah, well,
right?
That's all you need to know. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly how that went down. But expanded playoffs are not official yet. They're just likely at this point, or something.
I believe that is correct. Yes,
that might be a larger bargaining chip for the PA if they even have one at this point. So
yeah,
that's about all they have.
yeah, pretty much.
It's just I don't even know what to say. It just kind of is shitty. But
did you guys see what Jim Bowden tweeted out this week?
No.
God, no. What did the asshat say this week?
Well, he posted out stats that were interesting. He said the NFL minimum salary is $660,000. NBA minimum salary is $925,258. NHL minimum salary is $750,000, and the MLB is $570,500. So it's the lowest out of all of them. And they play the most games.
Yeah, longest season too, right? I mean,
yep.
And it's gone down.
And then he tweeted out some other. MLB has offered a tiered rate of $615,000 for 0 to 1 years, $650,000 to 1 to 2 years, and $725,000 for over 2 years. But the union wants $775,000 up each year to $805,000, $835,000, $855,000, and $895,000. So,
well, it also doesn't.
They play the most games.
Yeah.
It also doesn't help when you have these meatball fans, and I retweeted one of the guys this afternoon. It was like, the MLB is offering some revenue growth. I'm sorry, the MLB owners was that almost all their revenue should go to them. The PA was, hey, we'll take a little bit, you get the rest. And then you have the moron fan being like, hey, why the player's so unreasonable? It's a kid's game. I can hit 50 home runs off Dallas Keuchel. Okay,
that was beautiful.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty good. That's my meatball. That's my meatball Chicago fan.
Meatball Chicagoan.
That was really good,
man. Wow.
Hey, that sounds like New York. Hey, you guys. All right. So yeah, it's just
sloth. It's like a mix between the Fonz and Sloth.
Baby Ruth. All right. So the other thing I'll say before we get to the last story for baseball is that I don't know if you guys saw famous Goose Gossage said that he wants to punch Rob Manfred in the face. I don't know if you heard that story.
I don't really hear that. I
don't really like Goose Gossage either. Yeah. He's kind of a crotchety old man, but I think we can all agree.
Still got the handlebar mustache too.
He does. I think we can all agree though that Rob Manfred has a very punchable face. Not that I'm condoning violence, but just saying it's kind of punchable looking.
Yeah.
All right.
I love Goose Gossage. He's a mean old man.
He is. He's just
He just used to hit people intentionally, throw at people's head at like 98, 99.
Oh, he didn't give two. No, he did not care at all.
Brutal.
The last story is kind of a bummer. Marcus Stroman was on Twitter the other day. Someone was asking him about his time in New York, and he just kind of recounted what he went through. And he said, I got so many death threats whenever I pitched poorly. And he said a lot of the Mets fans, would throw racial slurs at him when he was pitching badly. And it's like, Jesus,
water wet.
It just, you're right, Vinny. Like, it blows my mind. Like, we're still like, this is still a thing. Like, if someone, okay, call me crazy. I love most sports. I watch a lot of sports, but when my team isn't doing good, my first instinct isn't to hurl racial slurs and pick up the phone and make a death threat to one of the players. Like, what type of individual does that?
East Coast Mets fans.
Apparently, like, I read that and I feel so bad. I felt so bad for the guy. And he's like, yeah. So like, try and imagine, the amount of pressure that's on the mound. And then you're also in the back of your mind knowing that that's going to happen. And I know it was somewhere there's probably someone saying, well, that's why they get paid millions of dollars, which I don't care where you work. Nobody should be subject to
doesn't justify
that kind of behavior.
You can boo the guy, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm all for booing.
Yep.
Oh wait, can you boo the team in New York? I don't know if you can do that. Right? Boo you back? Starts the whole thing and goes back and forth.
Well, there was that issue with Boston too, and what they were hurling racial slurs at Adam Jones when he was playing for the Orioles.
When he was an Oriole,
we all know how trash Philadelphia fans are.
They beat up Santa Claus.
Yeah. Seriously.
They beat him up. No, they booed him.
They booed him. Probably a couple guys probably beat him up.
In my head, he was beat up. I don't know where I got that from.
They might as well.
That's just you. Yeah. You're like, oh my God, they're beating him up.
I imagine a bunch of Flyers fans at like was it whatever the arena is now? It's Comcast something. But I just imagine them coming down from the stands and just beating the shit out of Santa Claus like a slap shot style thing. You know what I mean? So,
oh my God, that's perfect.
You didn't bring me what I want. No, okay. All right, we need to move on from baseball.
Oh,
getting
man.
punchy. All right, Vinny, let's move on to some football.
Manures of the Midway, where the guys talk the pile of horse crap that is the Chicago Bears.
When you consider the other choices, manure is actually pretty refreshing.
All right. Thank you, Vinny. So I guess the first thing we can get into, which I was completely surprised by, is according to reports, Troy Aikman is leaving Fox Sports to become the head analyst at ESPN Monday Night Football, and he is getting supposedly a 10-year, $180 million contract. So I don't know. What are your guys' takes on Troy Aikman? Yay or nay in terms of a commentator? I don't
something.
know. That one's getting a lot of work lately.
What's he getting paid for? He's awful.
It's just got to be the name, I guess.
That's all it is.
That's all they're getting.
I'm curious then, is ESPN going to redo the Monday Night Football booth again? Like, I don't know.
Wait, hold on really quick. Wasn't he supposed to? I thought he was going to Amazon.
I thought he was going to Amazon
too. Like that was like Amazon was they were like in a bidding war for him or something.
I have a feeling that's kind of. I thought he was going to Amazon too.
Yeah, I was surprised ESPN.
So when I saw this, I'm like, oh, he's getting Bezos money, and then I read it, and I'm like, oh no, he's getting Disney money apparently. So like the Monday Night Football booth, I feel like hasn't been good since we were kids, and it was like the original Monday Night Football booth too. And then they brought in Dennis Miller, which was a complete train wreck. I don't know if you might have been too young for that.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was so bad. It was so bad.
My dad did not like that. Shocking. My dad did not like that.
No.
In other news, water is wet.
Yeah, right.
No, I can't. I'm not surprised. But Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's worth that. Like you said, I think it's more just the name. I mean, he's not the worst. There's other people that I don't like listening to. He's fine, but I don't know how someone can offer 180 million to just talking about football. But that's
I don't learn anything from Troy. Like that's the thing. Like I don't know football like well, but sometimes when you listen to some of the other guys, they maybe even like Tony Romo, you learn a little bit something about the game from his perspective that's fairly newer.
He's obnoxious.
He is obnoxious, but I learned something about the game from him every time I listen to him. But yeah, he's a slick bag boob.
I was really big on Tony Romo when he started, and I'm kind of over it now. It's like he's almost turning into a caricature of himself a little bit now when he talks.
He is
a little bit.
Well, I think he's getting too comfortable, and I think he's thinking he's funnier than he is, and he likes to hear himself talk, and he just will ramble. I noticed that during the playoff game between the Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. It was just like, dude, just stop talking. I don't need to hear you talk on every single play, every single second. Just let it play out.
Let it breathe,
Yeah. He just has to, keep talking and give his opinion, which, I mean, that's what he's paid to do. But sometimes it's too much, and sometimes his opinion isn't football related. It's just him just being an idiot.
Yeah,
it's a Phil Rizzuto in the booth.
It is.
So.
It really is. It really
talking about where he went for dinner, the night before. So. Who do you got? What commentators do you like in football? Because I can't think of a name really for myself.
I like he does football, hockey, and I think he might even do basketball. I like Kenny Albert whenever I hear him. Okay. I'm not too big on too many other guys. What about you, Vinny?
Yeah, I hardly have time to watch too much of the games.
Yeah.
I can tell you who I don't like, but it's hard to say who I like.
Who don't you like?
Well, Chris Collinsworth is number one.
Oh, God, he's the worst.
Now, there's a guy who sucks at his job.
Yeah.
There you go. But, yeah, I don't know. Who is it? Aqib Talib? I've heard him. I've heard some sound clips, and he's been on 670 to Score a couple of times.
He usually gets stuck doing the Bears games, it sounds like, too, a lot of times whenever I hear him.
He seems pretty good.
Yeah.
It was a lot better because I just remember him as a player. He was kind of an instigator as a player.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
like,
right. Yeah.
I was like, oh, how is he going to be in the booth? But he's actually he's good.
He brings something different. It's not as dry.
Nope. So yeah, but he's good. Who's the ex-Lions player? I can't.
Oh, is that Chris Spielman?
Yeah, I don't mind him.
He's okay,
but he's considered, I think, a C crew when he's usually in the Bears game. Yeah. So I don't mind him. He's pretty good.
Who's the former? I can't think. Greg Olson's not even that good. He's okay.
Yeah,
like I don't mind him.
Not bad. Yeah.
Joe Buck is one. I don't understand the hate for him all the time, but I also don't consider him great either. Like he's just kind of like. He's there.
I like him better on football than I do baseball.
I would also agree with that.
So
yeah, I would agree with that. So, all right. Well, the last thing for football, and I'm very curious to get your take. Our guy, former Bears GM, somehow gets another job. He is going to be working in the front office with the Atlanta Falcons. What the hell is going on? So I still don't understand. Looking at his resume, what made you think, hey, we should hire this guy immediately after the season he gets canned? I want to say, do
you know who he's working with there?
I believe I saw in your dad's text message he's working with Phil Emery.
He's working with Phil Emery.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
I don't know which one's worse at their job, Phil Emery or Ryan Pace.
I would say Phil Emery.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I would go Phil Emery.
Ryan Pace had some hits in the draft.
He got a lot. I think he doubled
agents.
He doubled Phil Emery's tenure as a Bear too, didn't he? Pretty much. Honestly, Phil Emery was out after 3 seasons, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So if we have any Atlanta Falcons fans, good luck. We're sorry.
So I relate this to like former Illinois governors being incarcerated. Like this is former Bears GMs being incarcerated in Atlanta sort of thing. I feel like that's the parallel we're drawing right now.
I want to say for a while, you were more likely to get struck by lightning and win the lottery if you were You were more likely to go to jail if you were an Illinois governor than you were to be like struck by lightning and win the lottery. So,
wow.
Go Illinois. All right. Very quick segment, hockey segment. Let's do it. Uh-oh. Is it not playing?
Use puck bags.
Hey, shut up! You guys stink. I thought we came here to play hockey.
You know, I knew I forgot something.
Diving in on what's happening with the Chicago Blackhawks.
All right, I'm not gonna lie, I love NHL 94, so being able to use that music, for some reason I had this on my computer.
Of course you did.
I made it too long too because it keeps going. I had that on my computer because I think I made that my ringtone at one point. Anyway, I love that game. The only thing I have for the NHL, the Hawks are still awful, but major news this week, former Blackhawks ambassador, and I say former, Bobby Hull and the Hawks have parted ways. So
that.
My understanding, my guess, and you guys can tell me if you disagree or agree, the Hawks are doing major damage control and trying to correct the PR nightmare that is the organization in front office. And I know in the last, I'd say 3 or 4 years, this has come up more with Bobby Hull, just that, yes, great hockey player for the Hawks. And then, went over to the WHA and played for the Jets and was a great player. His son was a great hockey player. But just kind of a horrible dumpster fire of a human being back in the 60s and 70s. I know he beat his wife. There's a lot of documented stuff of spousal abuse, also a lot of, unfortunately raging alcoholic at times from what I've heard, and just kind of an asshole. And so it sounds like in an effort to try and save some PR, they're trying to distance themselves from anything in the past.
Yeah.
If you want to say that's too little too late, or why was it okay 10 years ago when they hired him as an ambassador? I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it is what it is.
I'm less informed than you are, Justin, with the Blackhawks, but my first impression was Bobby Hull parting ways with the Hawks because of kind of all their recent that drama going on. That was my first impression. But
that's how you know it's bad, when the former spousal abuser is like, whoa, I got to back away from this.
Well, let me ask you, was this like a mutual thing, or is this the Hawks acting in this regard?
So everything I've read is it was mutual. So I think you could be definitely right, Greg, that he wanted to back away. And the Hawks were like, yeah, we probably don't need any fire, because if anyone digs into your past anymore, they're going to find some pretty big skeletons in your closet.
Yeah.
At this point, I feel like the two that had the cleanest record were Stan Mikita and Tony Esposito, and unfortunately, both those guys have passed away now. So, I mean, in terms of ambassadors, you got Chris Chelios, who played when I grew up, and I think that's it. I mean, like they're all gone. Unfortunately, they're passing away or leaving. So I don't know. If you're a Hawks fan, write in, tell me what you think. I'll be honest. I just kind of read it. I'm like, whatever. Okay. Like, I feel like the glory days of the cup run is so far removed now. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm kind of maybe I'm jaded at this point, just with how shitty the organization has been run, but it's like, whatever.
Are you still watching games at all, Justin?
I will tune in and watch, but I will admit, anytime there's a Maple Leafs game on ESPN Plus, I watch that over the Hawks, just because A, they're better, and B, their front office isn't garbage. So, But I still watch them occasionally. They're depressing to watch. They're really bad. They're really bad.
Oh man.
So, yeah.
The end of a dynasty that was that kind of had some bad doing.
End of an era, to say the least. But we have a new segment because Vinny was gracious enough to rip some clips so that I could put this together. The Bulls are really good, so we are going to have an NBA segment. So Vinny, hit me with the NBA segment.
He's on fire!
We own defense. Whoa! I don't play defense.
Boom shakalaka!
All right, you're gonna have to listen to Mike on this, guys. Okay. Listen up.
Charles Barkley. It's a wannabe who looks like him.
Be gone, wannabe. It's probably
be gone.
That reminds me, I need to download that song, Basketball Jones. I used to love singing that song. Thank you, Vinny. All right, so the Bulls won tonight. That was their first game back from the All-Star game.
Yep.
DeMar DeRozan is a man on fire still. I'm trying to find, I just had the stat lines for him. He continues his longest streak of 35 plus points per game. He is now at 8 games. He passed Michael Jordan for third, who had a 7-game streak of that, and Michael Jordan had a 10-game streak in 1986. So 2 more games of 35 plus points, and he will tie the arguably best baseball. No, quite not the best. Definitely not the best baseball player, but arguably the best basketball player. And I will fight anyone who says otherwise. If someone tells me LeBron we're going to have words. So yeah, they're rocking. It is so much fun to watch them. I was so excited. I will admit, I didn't watch any of the All-Star stuff this weekend. I heard it was really bad. I heard the skills competition.
Yeah, it was trash.
Horrible.
Trash.
I heard the dunk contest. There was a meme of like 15 years ago, Shaq watching the dunk contest, and he had a camera and he was jumping up and down. And then there was a video or an image of him watching this year's dunk contest, and he looked like he wanted to fall asleep. It was that bad. They did do something. It was like the 75 best offensive players in NBA, and Jordan was there. Rodman was there, but I don't consider him I guess offensive rebounds, maybe. Otherwise, I don't know why.
He was good earlier in his career.
In Detroit. Yeah. Before he kind of dedicated himself to being a rebounder. But yeah, so like that, it was kind of cool to see Michael. And I guess apparently he was kind of like wheeling and dealing, shaking hands, and, was really cordial to everybody, which was nice. Cause I mean, you never know if you're going to get that, or if you're going to get Hall of Fame Michael Jordan, where his speech was all about all the people that wronged him and second guessed him, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just hoping the Bulls stay in the top 5 of the standings, so they don't have to worry about the play-in game. DeMar DeRozan looks like he scored 45 points tonight, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, and a 60% field goal percentage. So bring on Holy the MVP chance. In Io Dona, I always pronounce his last name wrong. Do you guys remember how to say his last name?
Nope.
Now that you're
Domanusu, I believe. IOD.
I can't remember.
And I feel bad because he went to U of I and he's from Chicago and he seems like an awesome guy. He also had a really good game tonight too. But yeah, they beat the Atlanta Hawks tonight. Trae Young got beat. So we will have more basketball talk hopefully in the future if the Bulls
beat him up.
Good. They beat him up. Yes.
They beat him up. Yeah.
They took him back behind. Yeah, never mind. They beat the Atlanta Hawks 112 to 108. All right. That's it for sports talk, unless you guys got any more sports stuff you want to mention.
Negative.
No.
All right. Well, let's get to it. Vinny, hit us with the whatever drop, and I'm going to transfer ownership here to Greg. Greg, take it away.
Uh-oh. Now it's time for whatever.
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 Whatever you want. Whatever I want.
Whatever, dude. Irrelevant. Whatever, dude.
Welcome to whatever. I love that sound drop. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So for the whatever portion of today's episode, we are going in hard because Vinny came up with the idea just last week to pick a band and rank the top 5 songs that we like from that band. And what better way to go in, with the big one and start off with the Beatles. We'll go classic right now. So for whatever, we are ranking our top 5 Beatles songs of all time. We have a ton of listener submissions, but we apparently have some Beatles trivia to kick us off.
Ooh.
Real quickly, do you guys know whose birthday it is today?
Oh, it's isn't it George Harrison's birthday? Isn't it? Or is it Ringo's birthday? Oh, okay.
I would argue
the
best Beatle, George Harrison.
Yes. Do you know how old he is?
Ooh.
For the winner, the grand prize.
I'm going to go
70?
83.
83. It's not 83.
Oh, damn it.
Sorry. No, it is
70.
It is 72? Not 83. You guys, he is 79. He would have been 79 today.
Oh, would have been 79. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, you were closer, Justin.
I was close.
He was close.
Yeah.
Price is Right
he was
rules.
Over, so it was Jeopardy or Price is Right. He loses.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So we are gonna go ahead and rank our top 5 Beatles songs, and we will kick it off with me. I'll go first.
Ooh, all right.
If you're listening, you're gonna see a photo of some new Beatles, so to speak. And I personally, my face has taken the Ringo spot. So I'm going to start off with a song that I think it was my first Beatles song that I ever listened to, and it kind of got me kind of got me interested because I heard it as a kid, but I believe Ringo does the lead vocals for this song, and that is none other than Yellow Submarine as my number 5 Beatles song.
Nice.
Like I said, love for it as a kid. I still bop to it today. But as when I first heard that, I don't think I could stop singing that song, and that kind of introduced me to the rest of the Beatles, library as I grew older. But I think that's what kind of kicked it off for me. So number 5 for me, Ringo Starr singing Yellow Submarine.
I'm maybe a bad Beatles fan. I didn't know he sang that.
I'm pretty sure I'm not good. I'm 99% sure he did the vocals on that. If you listen to it closely. And there's a lot of background singers. There's a lot of it's a very strange. So I think it even was a movie. Like they made a dopey little short film out of it or something.
Did you ever see the movie?
I never did. No, this had to have been
to see it. I never did.
Yeah, this had to have been late 60s or something like that. I think what.
But you're correct. He did sing that song.
He did sing that song. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it sounded like him. So because he got a very distinct voice. I first learned his voice too, what he sounded like from The Simpsons. So.
Oh,
really? When he did it, when Marge paints his
peace and love.
Yeah.
Other breaking news. Water. Wet.
Not surprised you learned it from there.
Right, exactly. When Marge sends him the painting. You guys remember that one?
Yes, that's right.
No,
I love your painting, Marge. I hung it on my wall, Anyway. Justin, you go next with your number 5.
All right. I feel pretty good for the first time in a couple weeks since we've did top 5s. I feel really good about my top 5 list. It is locked in. I locked it in right before the show started. I was still moving stuff around. I might have been listening to some sound clips before the show started as well. And this one is going to be, this is one that you don't really see on a lot of greatest hits of the Beatles. And that is the song Boys by the Beatles. If you guys are familiar with that one.
Not
Boys by the Beatles.
It's from their Please Please Me album. Okay. It's from 1963. And yeah, it's got a totally different guitar riff and just sound to it. Ringo, I believe, is the one that wrote it. And it's got some good drum fills in it, so that's why I'm a fan of it. But highly recommend it. It's kind of a little bit different. Obviously, like I said, I'm more of an early Beatles fan than their later stuff. So I think this one really exemplifies that sound. So highly recommend checking it out.
Okay.
Good stuff. Nice. That's interesting.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I can't hear anybody. Okay. All right.
Muted.
Good. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Greg's muted again.
Well, I'm up, so I might as well just go.
Sorry, Vinny. You go ahead, Vinny. You're number 5. I don't know why it keeps hitting mute like that.
Number 5 is I'm Looking Through You.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Very nice.
Love that song. Did George write that one? I'm trying to think who wrote that. Maybe it's just a Paul and John song. But yeah, I love that song. It's nice, upbeat. There's a version. I can't think of the band that does the Yellow Taxi song in the 90s. They do a cover of that.
Counting Crows.
Counting Crows. Yes.
They do a cover of that song, and it's good. But yeah, the original is just as good from the Beatles. But that's my number 5. I'm Looking Through You.
Nice. Very good. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Moving on to my number 4 is I was shifting around 4, 3, all of those earlier. 5, 2, and 1 were locked in. Once again, it's that 3, 4 range I struggle with. But for number 4, I think I'm going to lock it in, and I'm going to go We Can Work It Out.
Oh.
That's a song that I can, just kind of pick up, sing to. Got a good beat going along to it. I think that was, who was that? That John? That was John singing that song, wasn't it? Or John and Paul doing, combined vocals or whatever. But yeah, not too much else to say about that one. We Can Work It Out. I know it's one of the more popular ones, so it might be an easier choice. But one of my faves for sure.
Awesome,
nice,
good song. Good song.
Going to you, Justin.
All right.
Let's see if we know this one. I just want to say too, I am not a Beatles expert by any means.
No, I don't.
And I'm sure many of our listeners or some of our people who've submitted know the Beatles a lot better than we do, or at least better than I do. So
I will admit I was really into the Beatles about junior high, like early high school, and I've like completely lost all my knowledge on it. Many years later, I just it was one of those things where I was really into them, and then I just like kind of
faded away,
overindulged myself, and I was like, like I hadn't listened to them in quite some time. And
I feel like that's how I was with Zeppelin in high school. That's pretty much Zeppelin and AC/DC was pretty much all I listened to, in the Stones, and then I still enjoy them, but it's not something I seek out, and it's not something I'm actively looking to listen to. If it's on, I'll leave it on. But yeah, it's like a time and a place kind of thing. I almost, but
exactly. I will say though, I did enjoy listening to the Beatles for most of the day today.
Yes, it really made me realize how many other songs were made by them that I never really realized and put it together. And I'm like, oh God, I remember listening to that as a kid, on like the oldie station and stuff like that. So,
or you hear covers of it too. From the years,
from later and stuff like that.
Anyway, right. Justin, you're number 4.
Yes, my number 4. This is the only song I have of theirs that was written in the late 60s. It was written by Paul McCartney, and it was also credited to John Lennon too. It was after Ringo Starr left the band for a little while. And if it sounds like I'm reading this off Wikipedia, it's because I am. But what I didn't know is the song, and the song I should say, which may be a little poignant with what's going on in the world, and that is Back in the USSR. I love that song. Not... it's just I love the guitar. I love the audio sound of the plane taking off and landing at the end. But what I did not realize, and I'm glad I looked it up, is they wrote this song as a parody of Chuck Berry's "Back in the USA" and Beach Boys' "California Girls." That is why they wrote the song, which I had no idea. And Paul McCartney was quoted, or someone said that he sang this song pretending to be Jerry Lee Lewis, and that is why it's got a very different sound in terms of audio.
Okay.
Lyrics.
That's interesting.
So that's kind of interesting. I also didn't realize that. I guess it was kind of it wasn't necessarily received as well. I know they talked about when I think Russia invaded Czechoslovakia at the time, Czech Republic now. That this wasn't really a good look, but just as a song overall, I like the song. I like the music. I like the guitar riff, and it's the only song from their later albums that I actually like. So that is Back in the USSR for number 4.
Was that like the first diss track ever?
It might have been.
Them dissing the Beach Boys and Chuck Berry.
Yeah, I mean the Beach Boys, they have their own issues, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not really a big Beach Boys fan. I don't know about you.
Some of
I heard enough of it on Full House with Uncle Jesse always being there, and oh my gosh, we went to Hawaii. Look who's here! It's the Beach Boys. We're gonna play with them. I'm like, that doesn't happen on vacation. Come on.
It doesn't happen on your vacations. It happens on mine all the time.
I need to go on more vacations with
Except
you.
Except it's not the Beach Boys. It's the Monkees.
Oh, there you go.
I know my mom's going to be listening. She just bought tickets to see Mickey Dolenz play. I know this upcoming, I think summer or fall, because he is the last remaining monkey. So that is her favorite band.
Wow.
Yeah. She went and saw Mickey Dolenz in, was it Mike Nesmith before he passed away recently too. So I think they're down to one. I think there's only one monkey left. So one monkey left jumping on the bed. That was in poor taste.
He fell off and bumped his head.
Oh, all right.
I'm a doctor. The doctor said, "Go ahead, Vinny." All right.
Number 4 from Abbey Road, Something. None other than the birthday man himself, George Harrison.
Yeah, there you go.
Love that song. Always loved it. When I was into the Beatles, it was a song that I listened to a lot. It's a great melody. Again, one of their later albums which was a kind of a normal sounding song, since most of their later albums they were tripping on LSD.
Yeah,
some of the time. But yeah, it's a very beautiful song. So yep, Something.
Good,
very nice.
I like it.
Nice.
I like it. Good call.
We are moving right along.
We're moving along
to number 3. And my number 3 is actually another one that I enjoyed too at a younger age. And I use this song even to this day for something. I'll tell you what in a minute. But and I was surprised. I was looking up before we got on. I was looking up kind of like where Rolling Stones had all their songs ranked, just for the heck of it. Mm-hmm. This was the number 2 ranked song on the list, and I had no idea. And like, I don't know. Like I said earlier,
what song you're going to say.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, did you look at this list too?
I looked at the Spotify one. It was number 2 on their list. Okay, there. Well, if it's the song I'm thinking of.
Okay, well, this was number 2 on Rolling Stone, and I don't know if it's going to be the same, but it's I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's not the song
It's not the song you're thinking. So, very, very upbeat song. I think that's a big song that kind of broke. I mean, I think it's from 62, 63, a little earlier on. So I think there's a big one that hit the U.S. Pretty hard and getting the Beatles some attention. But I use this song like that. That could be all BS too, for all I know. But I use this song today with my kids. Only I changed the lyrics to "You have to hold my hand." when we're crossing the street or whatever, because I have a little daughter. She's 3. Her name is Aviana. And her thing to do is to run faster in a place where either cars are parked or cars are moving. So we've kind of changed that rule into John Lennon a little bit. And I don't sound like him, but I'll do that every so often. So, but still a very good upbeat song, one that gets you moving. And one I enjoyed very much today is "I Want to Hold Your Hand." So that's my number 3.
Very cool. Very cool. All right.
Going on to you, Justin.
All right. My number 3. Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of all of ours so I can make the poll later this week. All right. My number 3.
I'm doing that.
Are you doing that? Okay.
But I've fallen off, so you keep doing it.
Okay.
So.
My number 3. This was from 1963, recorded in September through February of 63. And that is the song "Please Please Me." Just like the song, it was voted 39th on Rolling Stone's 500 greatest albums and songs of all time. Was written by a guy named George Martin. I'm sorry, not written, produced by George Martin, who I think
the fifth
Beatle, right? Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I like that song. It's catchy. The other thing I've noticed I feel like for the longest time, I was always kind of like, oh, music today, they're really short 2-3 minute tracks. They're not like the 4 and 5 minute tracks that I feel like we're kind of taking over in the 90s. But then you go back and look at some of these early Beatles music, and some of them are like clocking in at like 1:53. Like they're moving. It's like, hey, we're going to give you a catchy song and then we're done. You know what I mean? Which I totally get that mentality. So number 3 for me is "Please Please Me."
Awesome.
Nice.
There we go.
Number 3 for you, Vinny.
Number 3 for me is another George Harrison song. It is "While My Guitar Gently Weeps."
Yes.
On the White Album.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys know who plays guitar on that song? On the White Album?
George Harrison.
No.
I don't know.
Eric Clapton.
Wow.
Oh, is it really? Wow.
Yeah. And it was, I guess, during the time, they were, at each other's throats, obviously near the end of their career together. But yeah, they were all at each other's throats while they're doing this, and Eric Clapton showing up helped ease the tension in the room. And it's supposedly John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Just shows how knowledgeable they are on when it comes to music. They actually didn't like this song.
Really?
And they weren't interested in it at first. But yeah, they came around to the song when Harrison brought Clapton on. So
okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that song's fantastic. And I love all the other renditions I've heard of that song as well. But yeah, very good song on the White Album.
Awesome.
So,
very cool.
Great call.
Cool.
Yeah, that really is a beautiful song.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on to, what are we on, number 2 right now?
Yes.
So I'm going a little bit down the line, going with some Paul right here, but "Hey Jude" is one of my favorite songs of all time. I don't know what it is about it. I'm not even sure exactly what it means, but it is one that it's one of those songs. I know I always say that once you turn it on, I don't really turn it off or skip it usually. So Yeah, I think that was later on. I think that was what, 60, late 60s or something like that. They recorded Hey Jude. And I'm pretty sure it's Paul McCartney singing that song, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, just one that I absolutely love, and I don't really have a lot to say about it except that it's the melody of it, the lyrics, very calming. So, Hey Jude, number 2 for me. So
nice. All right. My number 2. All right. My number 2. I was kind of surprised about this one. So Rolling Stone, I guess in 2004, did their 500 greatest songs. This song ranked 64. Produced by George Martin, written by Lennon and McCartney, and that is She Loves You. I like the catchiness. I like the sample that they use, the yeahs. I kind of like that. I just kind of
the early Beatles, don't
I
you?
do. I do. Can you tell?
Yeah.
That's like all I have on here. I'll be honest. Some of the songs you guys have mentioned, I'm like, I don't even know what that song is. So I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, guys.
What?
Yeah. Like While My Guitar Gently Weeps, I'll admit, probably never heard that song before.
Oh gosh,
I'm sure you've heard that song.
I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to check.
That was almost my number 4, actually, believe it or not.
So the one thing that I was kind of surprised by is they said when they kind of released the song in the US, it didn't really go anywhere. And it wasn't until a disc jockey, his name was Murray Kay, kind of listened to it and kind of started playing it more, and then it kind of took off, and then there was they rated it on American Bandstand, and it kind of it picked up a little bit, but it wasn't one of their higher ranking songs. But yeah, I like the catchiness of it, which I feel like I've used as an excuse for all the other ones so far. But yeah, She Loves You, number 2 on my list.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice. Justin, really quick, I was going to say, now that you liked the early, or that we know you like the early Beatles, you know what? I mean, a band that comes to mind where their early stuff was fantastic, and then they kind of totally switched their whole band philosophy to a whole different genre of music, is the Bee Gees. Because when you listen to very early on Bee Gees, Vinny, I don't know if you've caught it, but they're very Beatles-esque.
I've heard that.
Like, a lot of their songs are very Beatles-esque, and they're really well written. But we know the Bee Gees from Saturday Night Fever and Staying Alive.
Yep.
That is a complete turn from what their whole sound, their whole original sound was. So
interesting.
Just throwing that out there. If you go pre Saturday Night Fever, John Travolta, Staying Alive, Bee Gees, listen to some of the earlier, like pop rock songs they did. Real good stuff. I'll just throw that out there. So
Very
because
cool.
if someone came to me and asked me what's my favorite Bee Gees stuff, it's not going to be Staying Alive. It's going to be the stuff before that. So,
okay.
But this is Beatles talk we're doing. So,
yes.
Vinny, you're number 2.
Number 2. Here Comes the Sun, another George Harrison song on Abbey Road.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. Supposedly George Harrison wrote this song in Eric Clapton's garden using one of Clapton's acoustic guitars. And then the song was inspired by the long winters in England, which George Harrison thought went on forever. Like, we all can feel that here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
We're with you, George.
I love that song. It's a very pretty song. And yeah, it's one of those things when Greg, you were saying that you sing that song, like when you were talking about Hold My Hand. I was thinking that. I was like, oh, does Greg sing that like when he's working or like in the sun's like it's a snowy day, but the sun's coming out? He starts singing that, or when you were playing like if you were playing baseball or something like that and it was raining and then the sun, here comes the sun. I remember I'd sing that song too playing soccer, but
well, I might now. I mean, not with playing baseball, but maybe shoveling snow in about a couple hours at work.
Yeah,
exactly. But
Very
yeah,
cool.
I love that song. That's just something I always sing, in my head and stuff like that. And, the sun's coming out or something like that. But yeah, I love that
was
song.
so hard not to have on the top, at least on my top 5 list. That is such a great song. So definitely an honorable mention, but we'll get to those. Before we get to our number 1s, and I gotta say, quick, Justin, I have no idea what your number 1 song is going to be. Vinny, I have an idea.
I'm a wild card,
but I'll save it, until you reveal, because you're going to be the finale reveal. Do we want to do some listener submissions before we get to our number ones right here?
Sounds good.
Kick us off, Justin.
All right. Karen wrote in. She said her top 5 in no order, which I think was pretty much the. I think Jack Lugo was the only one that did his in order. I think the rest, everyone, and my mom did too. But I think everyone else just kind of threw out 5 songs. So Glenn had some too. But Karen said in no order. She said, "Let It Be," Yesterday, Blackbird, which is going to come up quite a few times. It looks like She's Leaving Home, and Eleanor Rigby. I will be honest, I only know like 2 or 3 of those songs. So I really need to work on my later Beatles.
Which ones don't you know?
I know Eleanor Rigby, I know Yesterday, and I know Let It Be. I do not know Blackbird and She's Leaving Home.
Come on, man.
Now, if I heard them, maybe I would know them. I don't know the names of them.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Well, do we have enough time? There's a lot.
Yeah.
But
I don't think we have enough time.
Okay, so we'll get to that. But,
oh my god, I don't know what to do anymore.
Vinny's stunned.
All right, I'm going to listen to them while you guys are talking. You keep talking.
He is without speech, ladies and gentlemen.
He's getting up and leaving the room. I don't know what's wrong.
Kristen writes in no particular order again. I will sing it to my kids every night. All You Need Is Love. Walk down the aisle to this. Very nice. I'm looking through you, dear Prudence, and In My Life. Very nice list.
Nice.
Very cool.
Sean writes in no order as always. Let It Be, Eleanor Rigby, Yesterday, Obla Dee, Obla Da, and Hey Jude. Good list.
All right. Very good. I will admit, I just listened to Blackbird in the background here. I have never heard that song before. Ever. I'm a monster, I know. All right. Brian wrote in. He said, "Let It Be, Yesterday, Something. Happiness Is a Warm Gun." I will admit, I will have never heard that song before.
Yeah,
I've never heard
that. Sounds like
that's
a very
that's a good song. Yeah.
And then Good Day Sunshine. So I have heard that one before, Vinny, for your safety and concern. I have heard that one.
Thank God.
Kelly.
Oh yeah, never mind. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
Wow. Holy cow.
He's singing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Somewhere, all 3 of the Beatles that have passed on have all rolled in their graves right now after hearing me sing.
Especially after they saw the upcoming thumbnail too. So,
yes, that too. Wait until you see it, folks.
Oh man.
Check out our Twitter and Instagram and Facebook just for that reason.
Just for that. It's coming, folks. Kelly writes in My Life, Let It Be, Yesterday, Hey Jude. 8 days a week gets our first
nice.
drop here.
Good
All right.
Song.
Yeah. Good song. All great.
Glenn writes in 1 through 5. Number 5, Day Tripper.
Good song.
Number 4, I Am the Walrus. Number 3, Eleanor Rigby. Number 2, Hey Jude. And number 1, Day in the Life.
Nice.
All right.
I believe that one's on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
That I'm not sure. I'll take your word for it.
Melissa wrote in. She said, "Let It Be," and then also this one. I've never heard this song. Yesterdays Are the Best. I've never heard that one. I don't know about you guys. I'm sorry. Yesterday.
Is it just Yesterday?
Yesterday. Yeah.
Those songs are the best.
That's why I've never heard of it.
Yesterday's a song.
Let me try that one again. Melissa wrote in and said, "Let It Be," and Yesterday. Both of those songs are the best. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. Oh boy.
Marie writes in, Yesterdays Are the Best.
He's making fun of you, Justin.
It took me a second. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, oh, wow. Marie likes the same
roasted.
Brenda writes in, it's just another day. I'm trying to think of that one. That one doesn't ring a bell.
Yes, I don't. Yes, unless I grabbed that from the wrong comments. But
yeah, it was somebody wrote yesterday. It's just another day.
Is that a lyric to Yesterday? Maybe. No.
So.
All right, we're gonna move on. Judy wrote in.
Brenda.
Her number 1 song is "Hey Jude." All right.
I think there's like a Judy thing happening.
I was going to say, there's a name thing there.
There could be.
I dig it. Lynn writes in, "Let It Be, Yesterday, The Long and Winding Road. This was our doing at my high school graduation. Twist and Shout, Don't Let Me Down, Honorable Mentions, All My Loving, Help, Strawberry Fields Forever." First mention of that song I think we got, and that's a very popular Beatles song. What you
like that song.
The first time I heard that song was on
slower one,
on 670 The Score, the radio station here in Chicago. Their afternoon host, Danny Parkins, did a cover. He tried to sing that song.
Oh, that's right.
And it was horrible. And that was the first time I heard it.
Justin Fields. Yeah,
it was Justin
Fields.
Right.
I sent that to you guys.
Sent it to me. That was the first time I ever heard it.
Yeah, that was awful.
It was really bad.
He's very tone deaf.
I'd say I'm a little more not tone deaf than him, but
yes. Well, Justin, you played in a band. I don't think.
Yes, but also I'm playing the drums. Really, you hit enough shit, it's gonna sound okay. I'm not gonna lie. So you just got to time it right. That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a biggest fan of this song. I know it's kind of like one of their biggest, classic songs or something like that, or it's highly, received or well regarded. But it's not for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They named a Bond character Strawberry Fields 2 after this song.
Did they really?
Just to throw that in there for you guys.
I don't know if I like it more or less now. No, I'm kidding.
Right?
Sorry.
Quantum of Solace. Ask Vinny about that movie.
Oh, I know how he feels about it.
Oh, is there another drop we can play for Quantum of Solace, Vinny?
Wow. All right.
SGBW.
That soundboard button's going to be worn out by the time the show.
I love every drop. I love every drop.
All right. Our guy, Jack Lugo, wrote in number 5, A Hard Day's Night. Excellent song. Come Together. Also not bad. Number 3, Here, There, and Everywhere was his wedding song. Number 2, I Am the Walrus. And number 1, Happiness is a Warm Gun. Another one.
Number 1.
Him and Brian on the same page. So I'm going to have to listen to that later. I do not know that song. So there you go. All right.
Nice. I don't think I've heard Here, There, and Everywhere before.
That was in his wedding, apparently.
Yeah.
So that's neat. You want to take Jaybird, Vinny?
Yeah, sure. Jaybird writes in on the text line. I don't think any particular order. Strawberry Fields Forever, Can't Buy Me Love, Help, I Want to Hold Your Hand, and Come Together.
Good choice.
Can't Buy Me Love didn't make. Oh, that would have made my list. Damn it, that's a great song.
Yeah, well, we'll have to go over.
Are you gonna change it like Justin? Just put it number 1.
No, I can't do that. But
we don't need to talk. Yeah, don't. We don't need to talk about that. Erica's gonna give me more shit for that now.
Missed that one. Oh. And then your mom writes in, Justin.
All right. My mom wrote in. She said, I have so many Beatles songs I really love, but here they are. It was funny. So, yeah, she's out here to watch Maddie this week. And she was doing some of her work because she, works remotely and stuff at night. And I could hear her listening to Beatles music. She's like, I got to figure out what my list is going to be. So her 5, number 1, I'm Looking Through You. Number 4, Get Back. Number 3, The Night Before. Number 2, Another Girl. And number 1, first mention of this is Birthday, which I the only reason I remember that song, and I used to love it, and this is a connection to our NHL 94 theme music for our NHL drop, when the LA Kings, which obviously one of my favorite hockey teams, I got my hat right here, when they would score a goal on Sega Genesis and NHL 94, and NHL 95, they would play the 8-bit version of They Say It's Your Birthday. So I don't know how they didn't get sued for that, but they didn't get sued for that. So that's my little connection there. She said for her honorable mentions, Boys, good choice, Mom. I'm a Loser. That's the song. That's not me saying I'm a loser.
I don't know that.
I'll Follow the Sun, Here, There, and Everywhere in My Life. Good Day, Sunshine. I'll Follow the Sun, and Blackbird. Again, never heard Blackbird before. Did not ring a bell when I listened to it earlier today. So
my goodness.
All right. I'm a disappointment. Sorry, Mother. All right. So let's go back. Go ahead,
I got another trivia question.
Okay.
True or false? Did the Beatles write Twist and Shout?
I'm going to go with no.
Oh, am I going to say false?
Good job, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Do we know who wrote it?
In fact,
Ferris
Burt
Bueller?
Burns. Yeah. Everybody thinks that they wrote it, but Burt Burns is the person that wrote it. Yeah. So,
you know what? I shouldn't admit this, but I didn't realize the Beatles wrote Twist and Shout until about 5 years ago. I'm sorry,
sang it.
Thank you.
Sang it.
And all those years, Ferris Bueller. Obviously, we had our top 5 movies. That's my number 1 favorite movie.
Did you think
He thought Matthew Broderick was singing.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you think Matthew Broderick sang it
so well? He lip synced it so
well. He was
well.
also singing Wayne Newton in the song.
That's right.
Song before,
he was a triple. He was a triple threat.
Triple threat kind of guy.
He was.
That's a great scene from Ferris Bueller.
It is, and I love that. That's the it's a German Heritage Day parade, and it made me so happy when I was in college because you could see. Apparently, St. Xavier used to have a campus downtown. Which, if you don't know, St. Xavier is a college out here. That's where I went to school, and they have signs for St. Xavier College in the background.
Look at that!
As a freshman in college, I thought that was so cool. Now I think who cares, but. Yeah, so there you go.
Twist and Shout would have made probably my top 5 if they had indeed wrote it, but I kept it specifically with songs.
They wrote it. Okay. That makes sense. That's a good call. Good call. All right.
Good stuff. All right.
Do we want to run through our top 4 first before we each get to our number 1?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll kick it off. I will start on number 5 for me was Yellow Submarine. Then number 4, We Can Work It Out. Number 3, I Want to Hold Your Hand. Number 2, Hey Jude. And number 1 is Let It Be. My favorite Beatles song of all time. Yeah, I love Let It Be. Another song for me that, non-skipper, always singing to it. And I just think it's pretty wholesome. And it's so simple, and there's nothing extravagant about it. It's just simple lyrics, simple music, simple melody. And it's just something that you could just sing anywhere and anytime. So my favorite Beatles song, number 1 on my list, is Let It Be.
All right.
Nice.
All right, Justin.
All right. Do we want to take a guess what my number 1 is now that you know that I'm more of an old Beatles as opposed to a newer Beatles guy? Want me to announce
stuff to go through.
I know there's a lot to go through.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll run through my top 4. My number 5 was Boys. Number 4, Back in the USSR. Number 3, Please Please Me. And number 2, She Loves You. My number 1, All My Lovin'. Love that song. Love that song. Just a lot of fun. It's like I've said for the other 4, it's catchy. The interesting thing in terms of a little bit of trivia I did not realize is that Paul McCartney actually wrote the lyrics first instead of writing the music first. He said that was the first time he had ever done that before.
I think I did hear that. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
So he wrote the words first. The other cool thing that I did not know is this was never released as a single officially in the UK or in the United States, but it got a bunch of airplay just from being on the record. So kind of interesting fun fact. And the last little fun fact I have for you guys, and I have not heard this version, but I kind of want to seek it out now. Amy Winehouse did a cover of the song in 2004.
Yes, that is right. Yep.
Couldn't tell you if it's any good, but I definitely want to go and try and find that on YouTube or something later and listen to it. So
I think it was okay. I wasn't a big Amy Winehouse fan, but I thought that
neither was I.
So
I only know Rehab. That's about it. So
yeah.
That's my number 1. Clearly, I only listen to the early catalog of the Beatles and have no idea what exists after like 1965. So there you go. That's my top 5.
Very nice. And we've reached the finale. Number 1 is going to be Vinny's pick. Vinny, what do you have as your number 1 Beatles song? You want to run down the rest of your list first for us?
Yep. Number 5, I'm Looking Through You. Number 4, Something. Number 3, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Number 2, Here Comes the Sun. And number 1, Greg, do you have it?
I think I want you to say it, but I will, to be honest, if I guessed it correctly or not.
It is Blackbird.
Oh, I got it.
That's why you got so angry.
Oh, yeah.
I knew
Justin,
it. Which is part of the reason my jaw dropped too. So.
Yes, that's pathetic that you don't know that song. This song is absolutely, it's a beautiful song.
So great.
And the history, the story, the reason that it was written, Paul McCartney wrote this song about the civil rights struggle. During in the U.S. and the race riots and the racial desegregation in Arkansas during that time. It's just absolutely beautiful, super simple song.
Yeah.
There's only 3 sounds during the song. Paul McCartney, his guitar, and there's some sort of metronome or tapping that's going on during it. Just that. And then I guess they put in some bird sounds, but that is such a great song. So simple. Some of the, I mentioned this on the band favorite bands that the Jazz Crusaders do a cover of this song. That's one of my top favorites. I've also there was an acoustic version done by G Love and the Special Sauce. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he does an acoustic version that's fantastic as well, right up there with this one. But yeah, this song is great. Justin, for shame that you don't know this song. It's on.
Yeah,
but
I'll have to listen.
In your defense, it is on the White Album, which came out in 1968. So
I check out after that.
I will. You need to listen to the White Album. I think. I mean, what other album has spawned a group of a cult to pretty much hold that as like their Bible and do horrible things? I don't think there's any other band out there that has had the power to do something like that. But yeah, you should listen to the White Album.
All right. I will add it to my homework.
I will say too, you were going over some of the covers, Vinny. Dave Grohl sang this song live at the Oscars maybe 3-4 years ago. You know, when the Oscars were still semi-interesting, when you kind of knew some of the movies that were nominated. But he did it for the In Memoriam section of the show where they recognize all the deceased actors or anything.
Okay.
And he sang Blackbird, just him and his guitar. And it was, he killed it. He knocked it out of the park. So
I'll have to look
that just popped into my mind for whatever reason. But one of the better moments of the Oscars, if you ask me, or probably arguably the best moment when they recognize the deceased people in the film industry. So good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Do you guys have any honorable mentions? Vinny, what do you have on honorable mentions?
Oh, I got a list here. Two of Us, Get Back made an honorable mention. Getting Better, you gotta hide your love away. Lady Madonna, with a little help from my friends, and Got to Get You Into My Life. Were all ones that were honorable mentions. And Justin, you probably don't know any of those.
I know some of them.
I was gonna say.
I don't think any of those were on my honorable mention list. My honorable mention list is 8 Days a Week, A Hard Day's Night, I Saw Her Standing There, Ticket to Ride, which I think is very underrated, and Can't Buy Me Love. Those are my top 5 honorable mentions. So there you go.
Those are all good.
Yeah.
I had, getting back to Blackbird again, that was actually number 3 on my list, Vinny, originally. I don't know why it got bumped. It seems sacrilegious now, but
it does.
Blackbird, While My Guitar Weeps, Can't Buy Me Love, which thankfully, who said that? I think Jaybird had that on his list.
Yep.
Here Comes the Sun, Twist and Shout out Ferris Bueller, The Long and Winding Road, Obla Dee, Obla Da, and Get Back were on my honorable mentions list. So there we go.
All right.
That is whatever.
Nice.
Justin, did you you were in marching band, right?
Yes, I was.
Did you play any Beatles songs?
I believe we played possibly I Saw Her Standing There.
Yep, we played that one. We also played Twist and Shout my senior year.
We played that as well.
We did that during the Labor Day parade because that was always the last, or no, Memorial Day because that was always the first, that was the last, or the last one that we'd play because we'd play in the Memorial Day parade. And I remember playing that song. I instantly thought of Ferris Bueller when we were playing that song. But,
I also remember in marching band, we also played Brass Monkey by the Beastie Boys.
Nice.
It was mostly just the clarinets and the trumpets goofing off. That's all it was really. So yeah, there you go. That was
nice.
I'm not gonna lie. Oak Lawn Community High School's football team is absolutely garbage, and they have been since I went there 20 years ago, or 15 years ago. 15. God, it's almost 20 years. Oh, shit, I'm getting old.
Man.
Anyway, we used to play random songs like that, and then we would play our drum cadence or our school fight song. And the idea is you play the fight song, obviously, when they score a touchdown. We were down to playing the fight song when they would get positive yardage because they were that bad.
Wow.
No. They were pretty bad. I like to think people came to see the marching band, but that's just me. So there you go. All right. Well, before we wrap up, Greg, you got anything you want to plug, anything you want to share before we call it a night?
Oh, just got some more MLB The Show stuff coming up, so you'll just have to tune in and see. It might be something new along the way. So.
Yes. If you are a video game fan and you like baseball video games, highly recommend check out Greg's show. He does about a half an hour segment, and he's got, I think you're up
20,
to
30 minutes. Yeah.
7 of them so far, 6 of them.
Yeah, six or seven of them.
Okay,
so I got a lot of things to say. So this is my
yes,
only.
He does.
My microphone is the only one that'll listen to me. So that's why you get all that wonderful content.
So
listen to me, and then listen to Inside the Show if you like. Listen to my podcast first. I have the breaking info.
If you listen to ours, get a hold of those guys and tell them we need to collaborate with them, so we can leech some views off of them, some downloads off of them.
That too.
Vinny, what about you? You got anything else to rip before we wrap up?
Nope.
No. Just that Blackbird is apparently arguably the best song ever made, and I've never heard of it. Right?
I still can't believe you never.
It is in my top 5 songs.
Justin,
of all time.
you are a music guy.
Let's be realistic though. Are you really surprised, Greg? You really that I don't know that song?
Yes, I am.
Really?
Yeah,
I am surprised. I'm genuinely surprised.
I'll be honest. I like some 50s Motown. I like some 60s, early 60s. Your
palate is very
rock.
Is not as strong as I thought it was.
No,
Justin, every song I've ever mentioned to you in my entire life, you have known, and you've given me a story behind it. So
it's usually like, oh, Greg, I can tell you when I listened to this for the first time, and here's how it sounds when you play it on the drums.
Well, it's somehow related to you, and then all of a sudden you say something like that, and then
it just
your whole world is turned upside down.
You guys had me up. No, it was probably about here, and now I'm down here.
Yeah, we're like Kramer right now.
Yeah,
I hold you up here. See, Jerry, Jerry, they're down here, but now you.
My expectations were low, but good God, no. The Beatles are kind of the late Beatles are kind of like my and it's like a black hole. I've never really got into it, and then I love 80s, hair metal, 80s rock. And 80s, early 80s R&B and hip hop, and then 90s is like my wheelhouse. I could pretty much tell you any story about the 90s, and then 2000s it gets a little vague, and now there's like a handful of bands I actively seek out. Nowadays, that's about it. So,
well, I'll tell you what.
I was gonna say, Greg, you're finding out now that every fact that Justin's giving you about a song has just been false. He's just been lying to you this entire time.
And you're blowing my cover.
He doesn't know.
And I've been telling other people these things, like, guys, you never heard what I heard from my brother-in-law. It doesn't blow your mind.
I didn't know we were going to start a podcast and people were going to call me out on my bullshit. Come on. No, I'll tell you related. Yeah,
I'll tell you what you do, Justin. You next time you have to rock Maddie in rocking chair, whatever, just pop that in your headphones, listen to Blackbird, and it's gonna be very soothing.
I will admit, I have not played it in probably a decade, but I still have Beatles Rock Band. This whole podcast segment has wanted me to hook up all the Rock Band stuff and play some Beatles Rock Band on the drums. And
I'll be right back
and dive into some of the older stuff. I'm sorry, newer or later stuff as opposed to the older stuff, because I think I only played like the older half of the game, and then I kind of tapped out. So. But so there you go. That's it for episode 44. Hold on, late breaking news. Greg is back. If the seal is still on this thing, I'm going to be pissed at you. Oh, thank God. Ooh, that was a close one. All right.
Codes are redeemed.
I didn't even know you had all the Rock Band stuff, Greg.
Yeah, I still got all the the drums and stuff.
I had the first drum set with Rock Band 1. I actually broke because I was rocking out to them so hard.
Oh wow!
So that's why I bought Beatles Rock Band, not for the music, but just because I needed another drum set. And,
I also have Green Day Rock Band, which is actually a really good game. Yeah.
I actually
Aerosmith Rock Band.
I won Green Day Rock Band off of Q101.
Did you really?
I did.
Is this made up?
No, this is Scouts Honor. I wasn't in the Scouts, but Scouts Honor.
It's 3 fingers, Justin, not 2.
It's
8 fits of Van Buren boys,
right?
Right? Yeah. No, Justin's honor is 2 fingers. I swear to God, I remember this was when I was in grad school going back to get my SPED endorsement, and I was driving to Lewis University. And it was my birthday. I swear to God, I know you guys are thinking I'm full of shit here. I swear to God, it was my birthday. I was driving to Lewis for a class, and I was listening to Q101, and they're like, hey, we're going to give away Green Day Rock Band. And I was like the 13th caller to call in, and I won it.
Wow.
And I was really excited because I'm like, I had just gotten the Beatles Rock Band set. I'm like, great, I'm in. I love Green Day, and they sent me the forms. And this was the first time I'd ever won something off the radio where I had to fill out tax forms. And I'm
okay.
Oh, I'm not doing that. And so I never filled out the forms. I never got the game. So, because when I won all my Star Wars stuff off WGN Radio, I never had to sign tax forms. They just said, "Hey, you're a nerd. Here's your Star Wars."
Yeah,
stuff.
That's because the game wasn't. Well, how much was the game?
$50.
No, the Rock Band.
$50. The Rock Band game was $50.
Oh, and they made you fill out all the tax forms?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, like the DVDs and stuff I've won, they never made me fill out tax forms for that.
Well, that's
less price. Yeah, lower price.
It's probably just company policy because, the thought is if it's over, $600, you're going to have to get a 1099. But, you're not going to get there in $50 a game.
Right, because it wasn't like the whole drum kit and all that. It was just the game
just
itself.
The game.
But, so no, I never. We'll have to play some Green Day Rock Band at some point, Greg.
Yes, we will.
All right. I will save all my more interesting stories that I swear to God are 100% true, despite what these two may think now. I'm a fraud. Anyway, if you want,
we need Frank Grimes here to call you out on that.
That's right. My stories aren't true. I'm Justin McElwee. All right. Anyway, if you want.
That was good. That was quick. Nice.
Well, Vinny's he's a real savage at that soundboard. All right. If you are wanting to listen to watch more of our video content, search Baseball Whatever on YouTube. Please subscribe. That would really help us out. If you want to call the text the text line or leave a voicemail at the text line, that number is 913-808-3278. That number again is 913-808-FART. There we go. You can find us on Twitter at Baseball and What. You can also find us on Instagram now at Baseball and Whatever. You can email the show at baseballandwhatever@gmail.com or baseball and whatever podcast at bellyupsports.com. Either one is fine with us. You can listen on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Spreaker, and any other Amazon. Yes, we are.
I haven't listened on Amazon. It just keeps popping up on my phone.
We are clearly rolling in that Jeff Bezos money. But anyway. What you could do to help us out, though, is go on Apple and give us a 5-star review. That'll help us pop up to more podcasts when people are searching the app. And Spotify has some type of review system now. So if you want to leave us a review saying that we're fun, I don't know. Justin tells shitty stories.
Just 5 stars. I don't think that they can't say that we're fun.
Even better.
It's just a star
It's
review.
literally one click. Click 5
Just
stars
one
and move
click
on with
and
your
you're
day.
done.
So that's it. Hopefully we can work it out. And
wow.
Wow.
Dynamite.
Yeah, you're really trying there.
Dynamite. That broadcast
tomorrow
has really
morning,
paid off.
I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna see a blackbird out my window, and
that's a crow, Justin.
I'm gonna shut up now.
Don't mess with that.
And think about yesterday.
I can't buy the love of these two gentlemen. I will see you next week. These two will also see you next week.
Justin's coming on solo. He's like, I can't do it.
Episode 45 of Baseball and Whatever will be next week. Who the hell knows what our topic will be and whatever crazy ass stories I have to try and explain myself to these two. Thanks for listening to Baseball and Whatever. We will see you next week. See you later, everybody.
Take care.
Take care.